Peace. I'm of the viewpoint now that the Prophet Muhammad was not in the time period or was not around the people, was not married to all those women they say was around him or that he was married to. Um, there's a few reasons why led me to this decision. First of all, when you only follow the Quran, you know what I mean, you accept it as your guidance. You reject everything else. Um, for example, the biography books of the Prophet, I reject those. I don't believe eating those things is his real biography. The only biography we have of the Prophet Muhammad is in the reading, right? Um, his wives, none of them is mentioned by name. They're talked about. You know, but no names. So in the people he was around, his so-called companions, none of their names is in it. The only name we see in there is Zayd, his adopted son. Um, so this led me to the viewpoint that he never met or never was around Abu Bakr, Uthman, Umar, Ali, Ibn Mas'ud, Ibn Abbas, whoever they say is his relatives and his family members or his close friends, and I I I, I can't accept that. And it never happened. I don't know how um the Prophet Muhammad became a key figure um in these people's lives. I don't know how that came to be. Um, but I know that there's two different Muhammads. There's the Prophet Muhammad from the reading, the Quran, and there's Prophet Muhammad from Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, those hadith, from those hadith. Um, what's I want to say? Yeah, the same thing goes with the Tafsirs, the Quran exegesis, or all the hadith. I reject all that stuff. Same thing goes with the so-called calendar. Um, if if the prophet's community was Umayyin, according to the narrative, their distinct narrative, and Umayyin means illiterate, then that means that majority of the people there have to have been illiterate. So how could they know how to calculate the months? How would they know, even though God speaks about them calculating the months, the sun, the moon, the calculation and stuff? But if the word Umayyi means illiterate, then how were they able to document these hadith? Like write them down and stuff, you know? Um, what I was going to say. I believe I'm of the viewpoint now that the Prophet Muhammad came sometime before the era or time period that they put him in. Because if you read the reading and you read the Bible, you see that there's things about Jesus or Moses or any of the prophets that are not even in the Bible and stuff. And you could be like, well, the Quran said is in the Bible, but I don't see this in the Bible. Well, maybe because the Quran, the reading, came in a period before they was adding books into the Bible, taking books out. You know, let's put this in. This sounds nice. Let's put this in. Let's take this out. Look, there's so many different gospels not even in the Bible. You know what I mean? So things like that. And then, for example, David Wood would say something like, um, when God says, did I command you to serve you to tell the people to serve you and your mother alongside me? So I'm not saying it verbatim. It was just paraphrasing. The talk between Jesus and God and stuff. Jesus speaking as a baby in the cradle. Jesus with the bird is clay, and it comes to life. Things like certain prophets, like Prophet Saleh, Prophet Hud, Prophet Shuaib, things like that. So this tells me that, and they would like David Wood would say, these are heretical viewpoints. Jesus talking as a baby. This is not, you know what I mean? These are heretical viewpoints. So nobody has these viewpoints. So why would the Quran speak about things like that? Because maybe these things was the real event, and it's just being cleared up, and maybe that it was at a time period when the people who was Christian, who actually accepted that and believed that, the Quran is talking to them. So this was before maybe that Bible, that the standardized Bible that we know, became standardized. That is a possibility, right? Because a lot of times, especially when God is speaking to the Jews and to the Christian, whoever God's speaking to, it seems like they know what is being talked about. About the people in the cave with the dog. They say it was 5 to 6 the dog, or what is it, 7, 8 the dog, whatever, things like that. The people in that audience, they know. They know. The Christian knew about that stuff. When they say, I don't know any Jews who say this is the Son of God, that Ezra, Uziah, whoever that is the Son of God. But there had been some Jews at the time period who the Quran is giving is talking to, have to have believed in that. So the only history I accept 100% as truthful is the history that's in the reading. I don't even accept American history as true, because they be lying and stuff. You know what I mean? If American history can be lies, who can't say that our history can't be lies? Who just say this history can't, you know what I mean? People are always making stuff up all the time. I don't know my real history. I mean, as a dark-skinned American, we don't really know our real history. We can't pinpoint what tribe we came from. If we came from African tribe, or was we already the people who was already here, the dark-skinned people who was already here, the Native Americans who was already here, whether they were darker skin or lighter brown, whatever skin tone they was, you know. But yeah, and when it comes to the prophets and the people they was with, and the people they have fought against or debated against, the true history of that is only in the reading. You know what I mean? Whether a person accepts it as truthful or not, you will see that the most consistent most consistent and truthful words of history, it pretty much is in the reading. And that's all I gotta say about that. Peace.